This is episode 248 of How About That Cigar, recorded live at the Corona Cigar Studio. On this episode, we talk to Paul and Amanda Wood about marriage and the cigar industry, and much more. Please take a minute to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. Now on with the show.
Corona Cigar Company is your one-stop shop for all your cigar needs. Whether that's a brand new humidor, a box of those new cigars you've been waiting for, a top-of-the-line cutter or lighter, a place to enjoy the finest cigars and spirits with friends, or the only cigars grown right here in the Sunshine State, we've got you covered. Come visit one of our retail locations for the ultimate cigar experience. Visit us online at coronacigar.com.
How about that cigar?
How about that cigar?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Corona Cigar Studios for episode 248 of How About That Cigar Live. Thank you so much for joining us live on all of the wonderful places, whether it is YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or X. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you would, please take a minute, click on all those beautiful buttons, the subscribe button, the like button, the follow button. We really do appreciate it. And of course, if you're listening after the fact on the audio podcast, thank you so much for making How About That Cigar part of your regular audio podcast rotation. And for our fantastic viewers over on Instagram, remember, you can definitely watch on Instagram and we do appreciate it. But if you want to join in the conversation and you want to leave comments that we can see and interact with, join us over on Facebook and YouTube so that we can see your comments. And if you have questions, we can share those up on the screen as well. Of course, let us know in the comments what you're drinking, what you're smoking along with us while you're watching the show. We have some fantastic special guests coming up, but you may see a little different picture this evening.
Ooh.
I know.
Oh, me?
I know. You're in the.
Oh, I'm in
you're not
the hot seat.
You're not in front of that big, beautiful tobacco field.
I know.
Tonight.
I think it burned down.
Oh, well, we're burning it down one cigar at a time.
Yes, absolutely.
So I think we have a roving reporter this evening that we need to get on the show. We do.
I think we're confusing people right now. Like David Floyd doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah. People are like, what
know.
on earth is happening? Yeah. Don't adjust your sets. There's nothing
We're
wrong.
all good. Let's just throw this up real quick,
But we definitely need to get our traveling route. Where in the world is Raul Ramos?
Raul Ramos. Where are you, my friend?
Let's get you on the show, brother.
Are you here?
Are you here?
Are you here?
He is here.
Whoa.
Here I am. Back a hurricane.
Oh boy.
How you doing, brother?
Long day in the car.
Yeah. How many hours behind the wheel today?
Almost out of North Dakota, eh?
Yeah. What, like 10 hours behind the wheel?
Yeah, what do we do? About 9.
Yeah.
9 hours.
Stopped at a couple liquor stores. All we found were wine for her.
And you're still talking to each other? That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, she loves me.
I mean, what are you guys doing on the road anyways?
We are celebrating our 25th anniversary. We've been together 30 years, and I don't know how the fuck she did it. I really don't. I can barely tolerate myself some days.
I can relate. And what I mean by that is I can barely tolerate myself, not tolerate you. Just wanted to throw that out there. I'm not saying I can't tolerate you. But, man, that's very cool that you guys are, you guys have been at this a long time, this marriage thing. And it's, it's a journey. It's a long and winding road, but man, congrats on so many years.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Floyd. Floyd just hit 25 years last week. Congratulations, Floyd.
Nice. So as we speak, the Celtics are beating the Dallas Mavericks in Game 5. Most likely the Celtics are going to win tonight. I just don't see the Mavericks winning another game against this team. I think we talked about it before we went live. I think
they did this on purpose, right?
They did it on purpose. It was the last game was a throwaway game, and they wanted to win in Boston in front of their home crowd. So you know, it is what it is. Dallas is a good team, but compared to Boston, any other team in the league this year was nothing. So, and the Stanley Cup final, Florida is a kind of a similar situation. Florida's up 3-1. Florida won the first 2 games in Florida, won the third game in Edmonton, and lost the 4th game in Edmonton again, and just got absolutely hammered. But I think that was on purpose. I think they wanted to win in Florida and on their home ice. So you know, I get it.
Yeah.
The Twins are on a winning streak, but it's against terrible teams. So they've been very streaky when they play long series against games like the Yankees or if they have to end up going against any National League teams, then they end up, I don't know, they just can't seem to hack it against National League teams. But you know, they are in a winning streak. Carlos Correa is kind of playing out of his mind. He got American League Player of the Week. He's batting like for the last 7 or 8 games, I think he's batting over 500, and his stats are off the charts, and he's still playing incredible defense as well. So I think it's pretty cool. So we'll see how it goes.
How long do you think it's going to go until they trade him?
Well, I don't know. I think yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if he's going to be up for on the trading block this year. But I've been wrong about that before. I don't think he will. I think Correa's going to stick with the Twins at least through the end of the season. I think if anybody may be on the Twins roster that may be up for maybe getting dealt to another team, it would be Royce Lewis, but he's so injury prone that I don't know if anybody wants to take the risk.
I think he's French. He's fragile.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, he is fragile. But when he plays, he's awesome. You know, but he's just been really, you know, and I feel bad for the guy because I know he wants to play, but he's just been injured too much.
There's always next year.
There's always it's only June and we're saying there's always next year.
What's in your left hand there, Matt?
Well, that's what I was just going to talk about. That is and actually we'll introduce the Spirit of Mystery, but then we'll bring on our special guests and you can give the details about this whiskey. So let's get into this week's Spirit of Mystery, brought to us by Postania Cigars. Do you find yourself unsatisfied with the top 10 list from How About That Cigar? Are you wondering how cigars from Postania didn't make the HBTC list, but found their way onto other lists? Well, fortunately, you can be reminded every week with this Postania Cigars advertisement. Postania Cigars, the #1 unranked cigar in the industry. All right, so this week's Spirit of Mystery, I have no idea what it is, and this comes from our special guest, but I love the color. It's got a really deep, dark, rich color. It sits in it's got good legs in the glass, which if you drink a lot of bourbon, you know what that means. The aroma is fantastic. I'll say it smells familiar, but I'm not really good at like picking these, but it smells like home. Like everybody knows there are certain brands of bourbon that I love, and this does kind of remind me of something that I'm familiar with, but who knows?
As you take a swig, I'll tell you it is a single barrel strength Kentucky strength bourbon whiskey, and it's 120 proof.
Yeah, very nice. It's interesting because 120's up there, but it doesn't taste, it's definitely got heat to it, but it doesn't burn too much. It's not like overly hot. It doesn't drink necessarily. It drinks more like a 112 or a 113. It's definitely got that pop to it. But it's got those classic, vanilla, caramel, oak, little bit of floral, a little bit of grassy kind of things going on. But a lot of that barrel char, but it's really balanced. I really like the aroma is just bonkers. But yeah, that's a good whiskey. So I'll be excited to keep drinking this and find out what it is later in the show. So let's get our special guests on to episode 248. Special guests on How About That Cigar Live, brought to us by our friends at Drew Estate. Following the resounding success of Blackened Cigars M81 Maduro, Drew Estate announced the new Blackened S84 Shade to Black. Wrapped in a luxurious Connecticut Ecuador cover leaf, the experience of this expression is distinctly different from the original M81 Maduro, while still retaining its foundational qualities due to the Connecticut broadleaf Maduro binder. Then finally, filler leaves from Pennsylvania and Nicaragua. Presented in elegantly designed 20-count boxes, Blackened S84 Shade to Black by Drew Estate is available in Robusto, Toro, Corona Doble, and Corona. For more information, please visit drewestate.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please put your hands together and help us welcome to episode 248, Paul and Amanda Wood. Welcome to the show.
Hello. What's going on, gentlemen?
Thank you guys so much for being with us on episode 248. Grateful to have you here. I was super excited when Raul brought this idea to us, because I think it's not only do I know that it's unique, I also just thought, man, this could really just be a fun conversation that a lot of people who think, you know what, I want to work full time in the cigar business. This will give, not that they're going to learn bad things, but they're going to learn, okay, it's not all sunshine and puppies, and you got to work at it. It's hard work. Mm-hmm. So, and so it's I think going to be an exciting conversation. So thank you guys for being with us.
Hey, thank you for having us. We are honored to be guests on your great show, and huge fans of you guys. Any chance we get to spend with you, we will jump at that.
Oh, thank you. Mm-hmm. So tell us, if you would, where you guys are broadcasting from, and what you're enjoying for a cigar and a beverage this evening.
All right. Well, for those that don't know me, we just introduced. I am Paul Wood. I am the Luciano cigar sales rep for kind of what would be called the Mid-Atlantic region. I go from Pennsylvania down to South Carolina, and then inward a little bit, Tennessee and Kentucky, and part of Ohio. So I've got a pretty big territory, which will lead us to all kinds of fun conversation later. But I currently we're residing in Barbersville, West Virginia, which is kind of where West Virginia, Kentucky, and Ohio all come together. So that's where we are at. I am currently smoking the Underrated, which is one of our newer releases, and I will let my wife introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Amanda Wood. I am an interventionist at an elementary school in the town that we live in, and I am smoking the Foreign Affair.
Very nice.
Nice.
So yeah, Amanda, we could talk about that for a long time. My wife is currently a kindergarten teacher, but she spent many years in literacy intervention and other stuff like that. And so yeah, we'd have a great time around the bonfire. You guys talking about your school experiences, and us guys talking about cigars and all that stuff. So that's very cool to hear.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I can use your help, actually. Some literacy and stuff like that. Get me choked up. Even the first get me choked up sometimes.
Yeah. You just gotta keep those simple, like one syllable words, and you're fine.
Matt, you probably experience the same thing. Like of course I'm on social media all the time because it helps the job. And she's constantly like, I'll post something and like 5 seconds later, you spelled this wrong. You forgot this word. And I'm edit, fix. Yeah. Like almost everyone. Like you would think I would learn by now to proofread, but usually it's on the go. So
yeah. No, it's good to have a proofreader who's willing to help you out with that kind of thing. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
so why don't we?
Well, let's get to what everybody's smoking. We learned what those guys are smoking. Raul sadly in a hotel room in North Dakota, you can't light up a cigar. But Justin, let us know what you're smoking.
I also, like Paul, have an underrated,
Very nice.
the Ron Harper release. I really enjoy this one. It's a good stick that you guys put out. So very happy with this one.
And I'm making Raul super jealous with the Dreamer Lancero. Sorry, brother. And I'm going to get this lit up right now on the. Oh, I almost said again. I almost said the old thing. I'm going to get this lit up right now on the Zycar Toast Cam. Zycar is the leading accessory brand with innovative butane lighters, precision cutting instruments, travel cases, and humidors. Each product is designed and manufactured with the utmost precision and attention to detail. The result is a range of products that exude quality and refinement, reflecting the brand's dedication to excellence. For more information, please visit Zycar.com. That's another awesome thing about Lanceros. I mean, there's so many awesome things about Lanceros, but one of them is they don't take very long to light because it's a smaller ring gauge. So that ad read is about, perfect.
And not to mention, that's the Dreamer, which is like one of my favorite Lanceros I graciously gave to you instead.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I might have one or two of those laying around from like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think we all like to keep some of those, hanging around in our humidor. So Raul, sorry, my brother, please jump right in.
Well, first of all, let's find out how you guys met, how long you've been married, and let's just start there.
I'm going to let her tell the story because she's a much better, more eloquent speaker than me.
Oh my gosh. So we went to separate high schools and our high schools consolidated. So we met our junior year. I was actually a TA for the sports medicine class we were in, and I had a boyfriend. And I saw this boy that kept staring at me constantly, like didn't stop. Like I was teaching, I was showing everyone in the class how to do things, and he's just staring at me.
I was paying attention,
is
what she means.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So that school year went by, and then summer break happened, and that boyfriend and I broke up. And we were at our college ACT, like we were at our local college taking our ACT. And we were in the same classroom to take our ACTs. And he was like, "Hey, how's your summer been?" And I was like, "Oh, it's all right. So-and-so, we broke up." And he was like, "Oh, that's sad. I'm sorry." So
Sorry,
then So a few weeks later, we started going out. I asked him out. He says he asked me out. So we differ on that. We won't get into that, but I asked him out. But anyway, so that happened. And then we started dating. So that was right before our senior year. So dated our whole senior year, and 29 years later, we're still here.
Wow.
Married for 23.
Married for 23. Yeah. Together 29, married 23.
High school sweethearts. That's awesome.
Yeah, and much like Raul, I've done everything I can to mess it up, and she still keeps me around, just by the grace of God only.
Awesome. So, Paul, let's talk about how you got into the cigar business and what your guys' first cigar together was with.
Ooh, first cigar together. That's going to be a tough one. Actually, no, it's not. I think I know what it is. So, like I've been smoking cigars for 24-ish years, on and off. Started just at a poker game with the buddies, and I'd have one, and then probably for the last close to 20 years, I've been pretty avid at it. At first, she was a little standoffish, didn't like it. Then she started coming around a little bit, and I believe the first cigar that she smoked was one of the Drew Estate to box, the coffee flavored cigar, which she really liked the smell of that. So it was a good gateway cigar, as I call it. So I remember my personal first cigar was a Casano 18, which is a cigar made by Davidoff in their factory. Had a good friend of mine at the time. He was a cigar guy, and he wanted me to try it. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll try it. And I think the first time I had it, I didn't even light it. I just chewed on it, which I enjoyed. And then I'm like, okay, I'll try it. And once I got into the nuances of it and just the relaxation and the therapeutic side of it, I was sold. And then I've met the best friends I have in the world through a cigar. So
nice. And how did that? Because everybody, well, I shouldn't say everybody. A lot of people take varied roads over the years, in their professional careers. They get into different lines of work over the years, things like that. So, and we know Amanda, being in the teaching world, that tends to, a lot of people tend to, that tends to be a career path. A lot of people, once they start in it, they stay with it. But for you, Paul, was it always cigars professionally, or how did previous work experience lead into cigars?
Like probably about the time I hit 30, it was just one of those things like, man, this would be a really cool industry to get into. I love the people. I love the cigars. I love the stories. But my background from college on was construction. I've worked for some extremely large construction companies. I've got like over $1 billion in construction experience. If you look at all the projects I've been involved with, then opened up my own company with a good friend of mine as a business partner, and we did it for several years. Rewind about 5 years ago or so, I met Luciano at Fat Ash Cigar Lounge doing one of his first events there, and he and I just instantly clicked and bonded, and it was it was just one of those weird things. Like we just immediately lined up with our morality, our religion, our thought processes, and fast forward to 2022, I was on a solo camping trip when he announced that he was going to start his own marketing and distribution. And I sent him a message because I run a Facebook group as well. That was kind of my introduction into the cigar industry. He's like, hey, I can't financially get into a shop right now because of finances and laws, and I don't really have a path to get in on the manufacturing and distribution side. So I started a Facebook group, and Luciano became part of that. We've got about 800 or so members. And I'm like, hey, whatever we can do to support you, we all love your brand. We love you here. We've got plenty of people in the group that would be, great representatives for your company. And I said, and that's something I would absolutely love to talk to you about. The next day, I got a phone call from Ed Trevino, who's at the time was our director of sales, and he's now our vice president of sales. We had like an hour and a half long interview on the phone. I think 10 minutes in, he offered me the job, and I'm like, I'm not taking it yet. Like I've expressed interest. I would love to do it, but I really haven't even talked to my family about this.
Yeah.
So we had a great conversation. Again, Ed very much lines up in the same morality and religion and faith-based stuff, and just good people. So I told him, I said, well, give me 24 hours. I need to talk to my family. So I loaded up my camping stuff, went home, and sat down and talked to my wife and at the time daughter and foster daughter. And I'm like, hey, here's the deal. Like I've been offered this position. It means I'm going to have to close a construction company and start this. And they were all on board. They know how much I enjoy this industry, how much I love cigars, one, but just the people. They've seen the relationships I've developed and that they've now developed. Through me hanging out in the lounge and becoming good friends with people. And called Ed back and I said, let's go. So that was, I think around October 1st and November 1st, Ed and I met in Nashville and went on my first sales call.
Okay. Did you make a sale?
That first day. Oh, wow. I don't think so.
Tough. That's tough on that first day.
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. I don't think so. I was learning the ropes of the sales side. I mean, this is not braggadocious, but I feel that I have a very good personality. I can talk to people. Like I don't really sell anybody. Like if I'm selling anything, I'm selling myself. I want them to buy the cigar because they like me. Once they get the cigar in the hand, you guys know this very well. Once they get a Luciano cigar in their hand, they're not going to be mad. they're gonna enjoy it, and that. So I just do my best to be genuine and honest and kind and friendly, and hope that works. That's not everybody's approach. I think that was one of the things that Luciano and Ed were very much looking for, was someone that wasn't an industry guy, that didn't have all the, I don't want to say bad habits, but industry habits. Let's say that, sales habits. So like I'm not a high pressure guy. I'm a guy that's going to go in and build a relationship, and that relationship will bloom into business, which is and that's very much the model our company likes to go with.
Yeah.
So Amanda, when he came back from camping, and he posed that question to you, what were some of your inner thoughts? I know you probably came out positive. What were you thinking inside, like, oh shit, or?
Not really oh shit, but so Paul, he told you a little bit about his previous job. So in the beginning of our marriage, he was on the road a lot. He had a lot of jobs that sent him everywhere, all over the place, managing projects. We had our daughter. He was still on the road, decided that wasn't, for him. He was back here close to us, still doing the same job, just not traveling as much. And I like that. I liked being here. So I don't know. So we went through that. So then when this came back up, I was like, oh, this is going to be you on the road again. Like, I don't know. I mean, I was happy. I was excited. I always want him to do, what he wants to do, what his passion is. And he's been that way with me too. You mentioned earlier about, teaching, and you kind of stick with it. And I have stuck with it. But I mean, there have been times where I've switched jobs, switched roles, went back to college, and he supported all of that. So I wanted to support him, and I wanted to support what he wanted to do. Our kids are older. They're both 18 now. So they were, 16-ish then. So I was like, all right, we can do this. We can make this work. And once I had met Luciano before. Then once I met Ed, and just knowing them as people and how much they like honor family, marriage, God, and just everything, like that really helped, because I was like, okay, these are good people. I like these people. They love our family. So yeah, let's do it. Let's see what happens, and let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah, there is something important about that, is working for people, working with people who share, who either, I mean, if they share your same values, that's like the dream right there. But even if they don't necessarily, as long as they honor your values, without trying to change them, that's a great scenario. And yeah, like you said, Luciano is a family guy, and Ed is a family guy, and it really is a relationship driven business. And there he is right now. There's the man right there. And yeah, I've seen Dwight's in the comments. I saw Ed a few minutes ago in the comments. So all those great people are showing up to support you guys, which I'd say that says a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we've got an amazing team, amazing people. The support is unreal. I mean, as you guys can imagine, going from manufacturing to, okay, we're going to do manufacturing, no marketing, distribution, and trying to get that integrated and set up across the country and now across the globe. We're in, 26, 28 countries. Luciano could probably verify that, but it's a trying time to get all that done and get all that done right and make the right moves that are going to help all of us grow. And that's a huge thing with this company, is it's not just about Luciano being, the amazing blender and mastermind behind all of it is. He shares in the love and the ideas. Like, he listens to all of us about ideas. Like, one of our latest releases, the Fiat Lux Tenebris, was an idea that was concocted last year at PCA by our Midwest rep, Josh Beaver. We've got Fiat Lux, which means let there be light. Fiat Lux Tenebris. Tenebris means darkness. And just a thought process. And it's just like, wow, okay, this is an amazing idea. And he listens, and he allows us input throughout the entire process, which is it's unusual in the corporate world that the guy that's out there every day beating the streets can have the ear of the owner and say, hey, I've got an idea. And he's like, hey, that's a great idea. Let's go with that. So it's a great company to be involved with. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Nice.
You got a question, man? I got one.
You go ahead and jump in.
So, what are you guys' favorite Luciano cigars now? I have a couple. Yeah, Lux Black. I forgot what you just called it. It's
10%.
pretty dark. Woo, that's good. But his mom's cigar, the Maria Lucia, hands down my favorite cigar.
Yeah.
Love that thing.
Yeah,
Went to a few-
so my personal favorite is the Maria Lucia Corona Gorda, which again, this is one of those stories that like he listens to the guys that work for him. Like we had the one size only. The cigar had actually had one size crawled into our bestseller roll last year at some point, and then we launched the 3 additional sizes. I begged him for a Corona Gorda, like please make this in a Corona Gorda if you can make the tobaccos work. And he's like, all right, I'll give it a try. So he messed. Actually, I think he video called me from Nicaragua, and he's got it, and he's smoking this unbanded cigar. He's like, guess what I'm smoking? I'm like, are you really? He's like, yeah. He's like, there's 5 of them. They're headed your way. I want you to try them and let me know what you think. And it's just that's my personal favorite. Like I will say, like the Tenebris is probably to me one of the most special things that's ever come out of his mind. It's a limited release, so I like a truly limited edition. Limitada Genuido, I think is what we came up with, Luciano. That it is truly limited. It's not a cigar we made in a different size, and you know it's a very rare tobacco that it's going to be a long time before that tobacco is ever present again, if it is ever present. So I hate to throw that in my favorite because it's only 15,000 of them, and at this point in life, I've bought I think 6 of them now at shops I've stopped in because I don't have any, and I just love that cigar. But that's enough me talking. Amanda, why don't you talk about your favorite?
Okay, so I don't want to just copy you. Maria Lucia, my favorite.
There you go.
That's my next one, ready to go. I do love the Fiat Lux Tenebris, but I love the Lancero, that Dreamer Lancero. That is probably those are my top 2. So Maria Lucia and then the Dreamer Lancero. Love it.
Yeah, Dreamer Lancero is special. You know, I just the blend is, you know, even when the blend was available in different added on different, vitolas. You know, I enjoy a lot of the other vitolas as well, but that Lancero, I just come back to it. It just seems for me to sing in that size. Plus, I mean, it's a Lancero, so
Yeah.
It's a cigar nerd size.
Yeah, I'm a Lancero Corona Gorda guy all the way, and like the Luciano Dreamer Lancero was literally it was really the first kind of national release he had of a cigar. I believe he released it at 2020 in PCA, and in 2021 it became the first Lancero to make Cigar Aficionado's top 25, and went all the way to 12, which is just like really like could you be any cooler? Like I mean, you guys have hung out with him, he's just such a kind, nice, just cool. He's a cool guy, and then the first kind of major release cigar he puts his name on. Does that. It says a lot about his abilities as a blender and his dedication to his craft and what he does. And like it's fun to watch him work. That's sure. That's for sure.
And how much character or confidence does it take to put out a Lancero? Your first one, being a Lancero, you're pretty much saying, "Yeah, this is me. Come get some." It was awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool deal for sure. Like, and it's brave to throw that out there as your first one, but I mean, obviously it works. So, I heard Raul's favorite. We're going to turn the interview around. Matt, what would be your favorite Luciano cigar?
I mean, I will say this as much as I love the Dreamer Lancero, golly. I mean, that Maria Lucia Corona Gorda is pretty incredible. I also happen to love it in that Robusto size. Or maybe it's I don't know.
The original size.
It's the original, I think, 52 ring gauge. Maybe it was.
It was a 54, I think. It was
54.
a 5.25 54. And we call it a Magnum. I don't know why we call it Magnum.
Even that original size, because of the soft box press, it doesn't feel like a big ring gauge.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just enjoy that cigar, but the Corona Gorda size definitely.
What about you, Justin?
I mean, that Dreamer's got me all the way. You guys know that already. But let's see. The Maria Lucia is good. I really enjoyed the Emergence that you guys came out with James Peter Co. not too long ago. That one's that one's just different than anything I've had recently.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was a good one. We had him on the show recently.
Yeah.
You know, love his story and whatnot. So I can't say anything bad about any Luciano cigars, honestly, because like every one of them has its own uniqueness to it, or its own story, or you know, the line that you guys did with Magic with ATL. That's, you know, a whole nother line itself within your portfolio. That's another every one of them's a hit. So I mean, you guys are doing it right and putting out some good stuff out there. That's, you know, when you got a good team working together and a good family, as you guys are oriented, like you're talking about, it shows, and that's really good stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I don't say this negatively against anybody else, but like, I don't know how a rep can work for a company and not enjoy everything that his company represents, which is the reason I was very interested in going to work for Luciano, because like everything he makes, it might not be my favorite, but I'm going to smoke it and I'm not going to be mad at it. And you know, there's other companies out there that I'm like, man, they make some great cigars, but then they make some stuff that it's not my palate. I won't say it's a bad cigar. Just not my palate.
That's a good line. It's not my.
Yeah. So I would find that so hard to work in this industry and not have the true passion behind every single thing that comes out of our factory. Knowing that it's good. Like maybe it's not my favorite, but it's really good.
Yeah. Well, earlier Amanda mentioned, you know, during, you know, the construction days, the project management days for Paul, you know, a lot of travel, that kind of thing. And, you know, you were a little leery about, taking this cigar sales rep job. Maybe, shoot, is that going to mean more time on the road? So I guess the question is, how do you guys work together as a family to balance the time that Paul is away, you know, visiting shops and doing events and that kind of thing? How do you balance that time and work on the scheduling and all that stuff to make sure you can try to work it around events for the kids or whatever it may be?
Yeah, so it's been a learning curve. Let's say that. I think the first 12 months on the job, I put 67,000 miles on my vehicle.
Whoa.
Which, I mean, I'm covering a large territory, so I was traveling a lot. Like we had a job to do, and that was to get that brand out there and get it in front of people, let them recognize who we are. And a lot of them knew us already from our previous distribution, but just to let them know, hey, you know, we're still here. We're just now doing the distribution and marketing. So the first year was a lot of road time. And it definitely challenged our marriage. Just being gone that much and not being around the kids and trying to find a happy balance. And then over the last 7 months, we've definitely worked that out and found a much better balance. I mean, as you guys saw, Amanda was able to go to PCA with us this year and be part of the team and support the team. And the fact that I still have a job is amazing. She's going to shake her head. Like, she absolutely killed it. She was amazing in every way. And Ed's like, hey, when she's off this summer, I want to take her with you. Like, I want her traveling on the road with you. Like your hotel is already covered. Like there's going to be hardly any expense for her to go with you. And man, it's just been an amazing time the last month-ish that she's been able to travel with me and get events and go places. And I mean, anytime I get the opportunity to walk in a shop and have her talk instead of me, it makes Luciano Cigars look better. So
How are you liking it, Amanda, being on the road?
I love it. I think it's great. So when you asked Paul just about the, challenges of everything, and so when you're together 29 years, there's a lot of changes. You change, you grow, all of the things. And so earlier when he worked on the road, I don't know, I didn't have the support group that I have now. So I'm going to shout out to all of those people that love me and care for me and check on me and check on us and check on our girls, and they're amazing. Majority of those people are at Fat Ash Cigar Lounge. Not trying to throw that out there, but hey guys, they're our best friends, and we go to church with the majority of those people too, and our church family, and they've just been right there with us the entire time. So when he's on the road the first time, I had friends. So if you're listening, you're my friends then, love you. But I didn't have the support group that I have now. So that made a huge difference. And then going back to just the fact that Luciano loves our family. I mean, he loves our girls. He tells them happy birthday. They were so excited. They're like, oh my gosh, he said happy birthday on Instagram. I'm like, yeah, he did. Like they love our family. They check on them. They ask Paul how they're doing. So he's on the road, but I don't know. We're still closer. It's not like it was when he was on the road, when Conley was a little baby.
Yeah.
It's just different. But I do like being on the road, and it's actually opened my eyes up to how hard he does work. Because, I love smoking cigars, which also I think helps. I enjoy smoking cigars. I enjoy, spending that time with my friends. So knowing that he's in that industry, that was very helpful. But just also he works hard.
Yeah.
Before I was able to go on the road with him, I'll be honest, I was like, wow, you had a rough day. Let's see, you got to drink bourbon, smoke cigars, and hang out with people. Oh wait, and all the amazing food you ate too. So I'm sure that was so hard.
Yeah.
I'm here with the girls, but going on the road with him, it's hard work. I mean, we go from lounge to event to lounge to hotel to getting up and doing it all over again. And I love it. It's great, but it's a lot harder than I thought it was, honestly.
Well, and then while you're actually behind the wheel, when you're actually on the road, and I know this not from cigar sales, but from, other kinds of sales, what feels like a million years ago, you're on the phone. And this was when I was doing is before hands-free phones, but you're on the phone almost every mile of that trip, checking in with clients, checking in with customers, checking in with the people you're about to meet with, the people you're going to meet with tomorrow, the people you're going to meet with next week, about the event you have in some other state 3 weeks from now. And it's so it's like your office is instead of behind a desk, it's behind the wheel of your car. And you're doing all this logistic stuff. You're lucky if you're able to listen to the radio, 20% of your trip, because I would imagine you spend a ton of time on the phone.
Yeah. It's constantly. I mean, it's emails, texts, phone calls, and then on top of that, like especially when you're in major cities, Philadelphia, DC, Charlotte, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, you're dealing with just insane traffic. So you've got to be alert in one sense, and then paying attention to the phone. And then before she was traveling with me, trying to keep up with her and answer her messages in a timely manner. And she's like, why aren't you responding to me? I'm like, I am in DC. I am not responding to anybody.
And I didn't get that either, but I do now.
And now you understand. It's like, okay, now I know why it took him an hour and a half to respond to my text message.
Yes, I get it.
Yeah.
I do. And another thing that I didn't get that I understand now too is I thought the drive home, you mentioned driving. So I thought, okay, the drive home, the however hours it was, it could be 8, it could be 2, depending on where he is. I'm like, you have that time to like decompress, to like chill in the car and listen to music. I know you're laughing. And get home. And, well, it's okay. Because I thought, you're home now. You're mine. Like, I need to tell you about everything you missed. I need to ask you all the questions. I need to remind you of all the things that need to be done here while you were gone. The girls have stuff. And I didn't understand what he was so kind. Okay. He would get home and he was just like, okay. And I felt like he wasn't present. Yeah. And it aggravated me because I'm like, what? How can you not want to hear everything I have to say? Like, you've been gone. And now that I've had a chance to be with him on the road and come home, I get it. The drive home is not like time for you to shut off and like relax and then be ready. That's not how it works. So now I get it. Like, I get that he's home and this is his home and he's safe and he's happy and he's loved, but he still needs that moment to be like, okay, gotta chill out. Now I'm home. Now I'm in this gear. Now I'm in this mode. And then he's ready, for everything here. But I didn't get that at first. And I do now. Now I'm like, okay, it's all right. I'll leave you alone. I'll give you your break time and then we can talk.
I mean, that sounds good, seeing things firsthand. And like anybody, if anybody can take a chance, regardless of what line of work their spouse is in, take a chance to, go and see firsthand what their spouse does. It'll just give them a deeper appreciation for their spouse.
I absolutely do not want to go to school with her and watch her. All these little kids.
I'm with you. I love it. Well, my kids are like you guys. My kids are older now, but I love my own kids. I just don't necessarily care a whole heck of a lot for other people's kids. At least when they're young, it's but there's a special spirit of person and temperament of person, to manage and support and encourage and nourish young children. And I marvel at it, honestly, because it's something that is so completely separate from the gifts that I have. And I just think it's incredible. But I also know that it's not in my wheelhouse and I need to steer clear of it for the sake of the children.
So Chris wanted us to ask you about meeting Daryl. But Dwight, excuse me.
Dwight.
What's the story?
Yeah, so Dwight and I have been best friends for it's over 20 years now. He and I met several years ago in a bowling league. He and I were bowling in the same league. Became friends. Realized we both like cigars, both like bourbon. Importantly, our wives get along extremely well, so that helped. So it started, just friends at bowling and hanging out there, and then like every weekend, at his house or at our house or at their house, hanging out and having cigars and bourbon and grilling and hanging out and watching sports, watching movies. It really, the cigar really, really brought us together as friends. And then, through that friendship, he and I had dreams and aspirations of being in this industry. We both really wanted to do a lounge. Even to the point that he and I presented in front of some angel investors at one point about 9 years ago. We were positive that we killed it. Like, we thought, there's no way they're not going to pick us. Well, they did. Just that whole smoking is bad thing was the killer of that. And then Dwight had an opportunity come up with another friend, and he was able to open a lounge, which I was thrilled for. Like for those of you that don't know, it's an amazing lounge. You guys have been there. You know Dwight and Shannon and that crew. They're amazing, great people. And just, through that led me to meet Luciano. And like it's crazy that 20 years ago he and I met smoking cigars and found out we love cigars together, and then both worked our way into this industry now where it's cool because I think last week I just announced that Fat Ash Cigar is the number one customer of Luciano Cigars as of 2023. They were our number one customer, which is really cool. Nothing to do with Dwight, nothing to do with me. It's the great people that support that lounge and love Luciano and probably love me and my family a little as well. But it's cool to be a part of, for sure.
Yeah, I gotta say, summer 2019, going to that lounge, and it's one of those places. All my people here in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area know how much I love the shops in this area. There's some great shops with some great people, but boy, if I could move to within a 5-minute drive of Fat Ash Cigar Lounge, I would do it in a heartbeat. It was just the best family lounge experience I've ever had. Every single person was, we were, by the end of it was only a couple days, but by the end of 2 days, we were on first name basis with, a dozen people, and, just sitting, talking about our families and our journeys in life, and really anything, just whatever came up. And I was just mostly, the only thing that upset me was that one of the 2 nights that we were there wasn't karaoke night. That was the only thing I was sad about, because I was like, oh man, I missed it. I really wanted to hear everybody sing. But next time we go down there, we'll put it on a night where everybody's going to be singing songs. That'll be fun.
Yeah, you guys definitely need to make another trip down. I know the guys at Fat Ash absolutely love you guys, and people would love to see you guys come back in. And whenever you schedule that, make sure you let me know so I can clear my schedule up so I can see you as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
We might have to go down for next year's anniversary, honey.
Hey, there you go. Hey, man, we've got all kinds of great stuff going on here. There'll be next year's anniversary. There'll be the new quarter horse track open. There's a casino that just opened. There's all kinds of crazy, cool things going on here in that county. And I say that because Dwight sits on the board of the tourism board, and then like they've done tons of great work to bring in great things. I know you guys have heard me talk a lot about my old Kentucky Herf, which we just had last month at the beginning of May, where we launched the Fat Ash Luciano Cigar Family Cigar. We sold 100 boxes on a single day. We sold 120 count boxes at that event. The response was amazing. Of course, it's a Luciano cigar, so the cigar is good. But the response and the support was fantastic.
Yeah.
And that event just keeps growing. I think he had 300 people there this year. It's the best event in the country. I'll just say it. I go to a lot of them, and it's done right.
Well, I can guarantee this. If we can just move it a little bit away from Mother's Day weekend, I'm there. That's the tricky part.
You just got to bring them with, Matt. That's all.
Yeah,
Raul's got it.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. and that's okay, but that's just not. Yeah, that's not going to happen with us.
Yeah.
But
My wife's in. We can talk.
Okay. There you go. Well, we'll maybe figure something out.
Let her talk. That's how you get around it, buddy. Talk it out. And then we'll be set.
There you go. Well, I'm curious about. I'm going to ask this question to both Paul and Amanda, and I want Amanda to answer this first. Because a few minutes ago when Paul was talking about some of the blends, and he was kind of going into what we call cigar nerd mode. Talking about different, the intricacies of the stuff that we nerd out about when it comes to cigars. And I'm curious, Amanda, what, in your words, in your experience, what else is it in his life that Paul nerds out about? Whether it's sci-fi movies or motorcycles or guns or whiskey, or what else does he nerd out about?
Golf.
Golf. Okay.
Lately, how do it kind of changes. Golf is one of them.
Yeah.
Bourbon is another one.
Yeah, I think men go through phases of stuff they nerd out about. Fishing, yeah, that's a big one for me too.
Yeah.
So, all right, Paul, what does Amanda nerd out about?
And she's really not. I mean, now, like I will say, like she is definitely turned into a bourbon nerd.
Okay.
Which is something that's changed probably in the last 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
Like she would try and like, nope, don't like that. And but she spent more time getting to know bourbon, and much like she did with cigars. You know, she initially just kind of had that, no, it's not for me. Ice skating. Okay, Shannon said ice skating. I'm gonna share a cool story as soon as I'm done with that. But like she's definitely got into to bourbon. She's a good heart. She loves people, so she nerds out about people.
Okay.
She loves to help people and just be there for people. So
I like it.
She doesn't have a lot of time to nerd out because she's got such a good heart.
Aww.
I like that.
Yeah. So Shannon had posted their ice skating. We were the place we're in. I don't know if you can see the sign back here. It's called the Swim Club. And I don't have a pool, but we have a community pool. And that's the closest place you could tag. So when my buddies would come over, they would tag themselves at the community pool, and my man cave became known as a swim club. And I've got several TVs on the wall. So we were hanging out one day watching football and smoking. The game must have ended, and apparently like the Olympics or some figure skating trials or something came on. So I switched over to music and just left the TV on, and somehow, some way, we looked up at the right time, and we were listening to who knows what, like Metallica or something like that. And the figure skaters were dancing to this song because I had the TV muted, and it became this thing where, like, anytime figure skating is on, I have a man cave full of guys hanging here smoking cigars, drinking bourbon, and playing these random songs that were figure skating, and it is hysterical. It is so funny. Like, guys, that we are in tears laughing. Any 90s hip hop, like pop music, it all works, and it will change your view of figure skating. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, he actually has like a Spotify playlist called ice skating.
Figure skating.
I mean, oh my gosh, sorry, Paul. My bad. Figure skating.
Nice.
Yeah, it is kind of fun. But yeah, I forgot about that. Thank you, Shannon.
I love that.
And then we got
like another thing. I love to fish, and was very fortunate 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2.5 weeks ago. I do an annual fishing trip that's completely off the grid. It's a trout fishing trip where we're anywhere from 3 to 5 days without phone service. Like it's way out there. And Luciano actually had heard me talk about the trip and asked if he could come along. So he tagged along this time and got to spend some time. One, allow him to have a break because I think he'd been home in his own bed maybe 7 or 8 days since PCA. But allow him just to decompress and unwind and get away from the world for several days. And man, we had an amazing time. For me, I love to fish, but it's more about the disconnecting from the world and spending time in prayer, spending time just in nature, enjoying time with friends and without any pressure, without your phone going off every 5 minutes. And like I said, it was awesome that Luciano got to attend that with me, and I think he had a great time. He acted like he did. He wants to go back next year, so it was fun. So
yeah, those trips where you get out of cell phone range, that's like up here. It's going way up as close as you possibly can to the Canadian border, and you're not happy until your cell phone loses signal. That's when you're in the good spots.
Mm-hmm. Actually, Luciano's been up there a couple of times.
That's right.
Up there, up north,
Yeah.
where you live,
Yeah, way up north.
Minnesota.
Yeah, so I wanted to bring up something from the past, guys.
Oh boy.
I watched your interview a couple weeks ago with John Lorendi from Peter James.
Yeah.
Man, great interview.
Mhm.
I'm thinking about getting ready for this interview. I'm like, what am I going to wear to look as cool as John? Like, I'm never going to look that cool. So
Nobody's ever going to look as cool as
I've got a
that.
t-shirt. John and Adrian are just awesome human beings. They definitely fit the mold of what we believe at Luciano Cigars, which is why they're here, why they're a part of the company and part of the Peter James Luciano vision. But that it was a great interview, man. You guys did it so well, and he's such a cool guy. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, I think he just wore a black T-shirt, and he'll look better in a black T-shirt than
He
most.
had a Cookie
other.
Monster shirt
Oh,
T-shirt on. It
that's
was like
what-
a Cookie Monster
that's
shirt,
right.
I think, is what he
Oh,
had on
yeah,
that night.
it was.
I could not pull that off in a million years.
Yeah, but he'll look better in a Cookie Monster T-shirt than most other
Yeah.
guys will in a tuxedo.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
got all of their tattoos and the muscles popping out
Yeah.
there. He was,
He's a cool cat.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot cooler if you return the text.
Oh, come on. He's a busy guy.
Ooh, I
Oh.
don't care.
He's a
I don't
busy
care.
guy.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I will return
And
the
then
text.
probably the other thing I nerd out about is Luciano mentioned it, and I was very, very fortunate. Like, I love to cook. I love to spend time, on the grill, on the smoker, at the stove.
I wouldn't expect that of you.
Yeah. So I got to cook for you guys in Vegas, which was awesome.
It's one of our best memories of Vegas, by the way.
It is one of our best
there
memories.
was so many friendships made that night. I mean, you guys all at that event or at that media party, like, knocked it out of the park. And like those are the best relationships that we have had, like, at PCA, or spending that time with you guys, getting to know you guys. That's takes it to a whole nother level. And I think that's why we are here today, and talk to as many people from the whole team in general, just because it's a good thing you guys got going on, like I keep saying. So
yeah, I mean, it's as a company, like, we still talk about that night as well. We love it, and like I said, we sorry, I'm just reading Quinn Cole's comment. Paul's meat parties are legendary.
I should have said you nerded out on meat.
Yeah. But
There you
no, like we absolutely love that night so much, and we have just a tremendous amount of respect for what you guys and I mean, just the cigar media in general. Like, you guys across the board do a great job of spreading knowledge, talking about the brands, sharing industry related news. And I mean, the media party is Luciano's idea, and like, we were all honored to be part of that, to give back to you guys, because you guys give a lot to us through interviews and publicity and all that stuff. So we're extremely thankful, and we appreciate you guys.
We were honored to be there.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
And it was more than, it wasn't even a media party. It felt like a family. Like you were at a
Yeah,
family.
it was a family backyard barbecue. Really, it was great.
Yeah, so the whole story of that night, I don't know if you guys have heard that, but like, we're at PCA, and it's like 5:00, and Luciano and actually we're planning on cooking that night for you guys. And it was one of those days, like, we were just both exhausted. He's like, I'm gonna have Cynthia, his wife, he's like, I'm gonna have her. We're just gonna have it catered. They're gonna put together some sides. I'm like, okay, good. Like, I was like, so we get back to the house. I change out of my floor attire and get into something comfortable. They're all in there making sides. I'm like, oh, good deal. I'm gonna go out and have a cigar, a glass of bourbon. I step outside, and there's this giant outdoor kitchen at the house we were staying
Oh
at.
yeah.
And there's like there's a box of like 60 pounds of meat, and I'm like, oh no, somebody's gonna have to cook. And Luciano had a meeting directly after, so he didn't show up till late. So I fired up the grill, started cooking steaks and sausages, and then the grill just goes bloop, and I'm like, oh no,
Ran out of gas. Yeah.
So I pull the gas out, and I'm like, hey, somebody run over, because we had 2 Airbnbs. I'm like, somebody go over there to the Airbnb, get the gas from there. I need to get this back on. And then I grabbed the tank. I'm like, this tank is still full. Hooked it back up.
Yeah.
So the regulator in the grill had gone out.
Oh,
Okay.
So they had this massive, probably 2 foot, 3 foot wide pizza oven So I fired up that pizza oven and
Yep.
we fixed steaks and sausages in the pizza oven.
And they were fantastic.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were.
They were so good.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Amanda's been begging me to get a pizza oven since.
Yeah. Heck yeah. So I gotta ask one more kind of cigar related question. And for you guys, you know, as a couple being together so long, you know, spending a lot of time around cigars, do you guys put either, whether it's just kind of both sort of spontaneously agreeing or put time in your schedule to like purposely take time away from cigars? Like we need a break, or are you just both so into it that it's like it's just kind of part of your routine?
It's part of who we are now.
Okay.
It's second nature to us, and like we have the best conversations sitting in the man cave, on the patio, on the back porch. At the time we had a boat, like just hanging out on the boat, and now, you know, just traveling on the road and stuff like that. We have great conversations and connections and arguments and all the fun things that come along with marriage. Just while we're enjoying cigars together, and for us, it's extremely therapeutic, and it's held our marriage together in a lot of ways at some point. So it's
Nice.
Yeah, there's no time away from it. Not intentionally, anyways.
Yeah. Okay.
Normally our time away from cigars is like we'll go to a family function or a wedding or a party or something like that, and she goes, "When can we get out of here and go have a cigar?"
That's fantastic. I love it. Time away from cigars, never heard of it. Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
So, Raul,
Is it-
Justin, you guys got anything else?
I mean,
Is it-
I think
I think it's time.
You think it is?
I think it's time.
Justin,
Yeah.
you think we're there?
yeah, I think we're
All right, guys, it is now time for this week's Numero de los Muertos. And as always, Numero de los Muertos brought to us by our friends at Smoke Inn.
Honesty agree with the goat to tell you about Smoke Inn's Cigar of the Month Club. Every month, I personally handpick 5 premium cigars. Another great feature is our Double Down Club. With a simple check mark, you can get double this great selections every month and save $10. Every month, there's a special discount code where if you like any of the selections, you get them at a special discounted rate for our Cigar of the Month Club members. We've made it super simple. All you gotta do is log into your account. There's a little green button there. If it's green, you're active. You want to take a break, going out of town, simply hit the button and you'll deactivate your membership. We get the stuff out on the 28th of every month. Our membership bills on the 28th, and we get every member's package out on the 28th if it's a shipping day. All delivered to your door for $34.95. 5 great reasons on what makes Smoking Cigar of the Month Club the best club out there. Check it out. Peace.
All right, Numero de los Muertos, episode 248. So, guys, this is the favorite segment of the week. Every show, it's weird, it's a little dark, it's a little morbid, but
We love it. We love it.
it's a good time. What are you going to do? So, all right, the number this week, I'll say this, it's a little tricky to like narrow down a really accurate number, but I'll say between 1987 and 2004, average deaths per year in the United States ranged between 3 and 5 for this particular cause of death.
1987 to 2004. So we're looking at what, 17 years?
Well,
Yeah.
it had to be Death by Hairspray, Aquanet.
No?
No,
No?
it's not. It's not.
No?
Not hairspray.
Okay.
87 to 2004.
Okay.
I was born in 2006.
Is this on land?
On land, yes.
Not lawn darts?
Not lawn darts.
David Bowie?
Animals? Any animals involved?
No animals.
Question.
Very good question. Those are the kinds of questions to ask.
Is it a
Alcohol
work? What was that roll?
is alcohol related.
It's not listed as a contributing factor. No,
Luciano, is it a disease?
not a disease.
Are autos involved?
Automobiles are not involved.
Is it a workplace accident?
Not a workplace accident.
Is it an accident in general?
Accident, yes.
Okay.
These are accidental.
Accidental death, so not
Yeah.
a disease, nothing, no.
Yeah, not disease or medical situation related, anything like
Is
that.
this inflicted on somebody?
Not intentionally.
Not intentionally. Take
Is
your time away from cigars.
Take-
Why?
Dwight, that number may be higher
Yeah,
actually than
definitely.
like average 3 to 5 per year.
Is it sports related?
Not sports related.
Strangulation with a telephone cord.
Wow,
Ooh.
so specific with the telephone cord. Amanda, you don't have any corded telephones left. Just
Oh,
want to make sure you're safe.
Regular phones now.
That's what I was thinking. That's about the time that like all the corded phones kind of disappeared.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, we haven't had a landline in I don't remember how long.
Oh.
Tory Stopper.
Tory coming in with some.
Asphyxiation.
No,
No.
we've had that actually on the show before. That's
Not remembering your anniversary.
I would hope that number is much higher.
Yeah.
Safe.
Ingesting.
Beanie Babies. That'd be,
Oh, Dwight.
is that like the newest Tide Pod challenge there? I think it might be coming back.
Dwight, I love you, brother, but you need help. I don't think they're meant to be.
What are the stats again?
I don't know. Dwight, next time we're down at Fat Ash,
Yeah.
I want to see Dwight eat a Beanie Baby.
We need to add some.
We'll do that live on our channels.
Yeah. What were the stats again? It was from 87 to 2004.
87 through 2004. Again, they kind of categorize or they compartmentalize it into different groupings of years, but
Yeah.
between all those, I'm going to say the average was between 3 and 5 per year.
Okay.
Died from this particular cause.
Not like an event or anything like that.
Not an event per se. No,
Okay. Drowning in a pool.
no, not drowning. No,
Food. That's what I
Food-
say. The
Food related?
Yeah.
it's not food related.
Okay. Not food
Mosh
related. Mosh pit.
Yep.
Not a
Mosh-
mosh pit. I think we did that one
That was a good
Once.
guess.
ages ago. Yeah, I got to go back. And,
Fireworks? Is it
What's that?
Fireworks?
oh, not fireworks. That would be a timely one right
Mad
now.
cow disease.
Not mad cow disease.
Let's.
I'll throw in a hint.
Uh-huh.
This is recreation.
Recreation. Okay.
Recreation that's most often associated with warmer months.
Okay.
And
Water
exploding party ball.
A party ball?
Remember party balls?
Oh, exploding keg? No, not exploding kegs. No,
Jet ski accident.
no. These happen on land.
Tripping
yeah,
on
you can say
acid.
Oh, tripping on it? No,
No.
not tripping on acid.
No fishing.
The three-wheeler. The motorized, the ATV three-wheeler.
Oh no,
Yeah.
it's not three. I'm so glad they don't make 3-wheelers. Those things were death traps.
Yeah.
Roller
Rollerblade.
skates? Yeah. Quinn, rollerblading.
No, it's not. They're not on like. So it's not fishing. It's not. I'll say it's not on. I'll say vehicles are not involved, but machinery is involved.
Oh.
So it's not ice skating to Metallica.
But it's machine. It's not. It's not ice skating to Metallica.
Okay.
I will say machinery is involved, but it's a recreational activity and location.
Batting cages. He'd get hit
No,
in a
but
batting
that's
cage.
but that's a really good guess.
Like that one. I like that one.
Not skateboarding.
Not skateboarding.
Beach sand cave-in.
No, but that's a good topic.
Not hit with a golf ball.
No, not a golf ball.
But We were close with what?
Well, okay. All right. So we're on the right track here,
Bumper cars?
Francisco.
Oh,
We're on the
thank
right
you.
track.
Is this amusement park?
So yeah, it's amusement park and carnival rides.
Carnival.
Oh,
So carnivals like local towny carnivals, and this puts all together towny carnivals and like full on amusement parks.
so all these amusement park, falling off a Ferris wheel,
Yes.
amusement park rides, all this.
Yes.
Yes. To all.
So between 1987 and 2000, there was an average of 4.5 amusement park and carnival ride related deaths per year. Between 1990 and 2004 alone, there were 52 deaths associated with thrill rides. And in 2001, there were, let me go down further. So every day in the months of May through September, 1990 through 2010, an average of 20 people were injured by amusement park rides for people under the age of 18. That's every day in the United States. There were 20 people under the age of 18 injured by amusement park or carnival rides.
Wow.
It's crazy time.
Insane. And in 2011, 1,204 people were injured at 400 different amusement parks.
Wow.
Holy cow.
And there was just the thing, I don't know if you guys saw in the news, I don't remember where it was in the United States, but somewhere there was this ride that like is one of those pendulum type things, and it got stuck vertically upside down for like hours. Those people were all hanging there upside down, and I know they were able to get everybody out safely. I have no idea how they did it, but I love thrill rides, but being stuck like upside down on one of those things for 90 minutes, I think I think I'd be calling my lawyer like the next day.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty much.
Oh, wow.
So that was this week's Numero de los Muertos. All right. So let's get the big reveal of this week's Spirit of Mystery, brought to us by Postania Cigars. I have to say, I am really, really enjoying this bourbon a lot. I am very grateful that you filled that little bottle all the way to the top. So again, I'm not super good at guessing this, and I tend to go, these guys know this because I have a couple brands that are like my go-to brands for bourbon, that it's like most of what these brands produce, I tend to really, really enjoy. And those two brands are Old Forester and Four Roses. Now, this doesn't necessarily evoke, at least to me, right off the bat, this doesn't necessarily evoke like a strong Old Forester vibe. But it does evoke a lot of vibes that I tend to get from some Four Roses products. It's got some of those same strong kind of intense flavor and aroma notes that I tend to get from Four Roses stuff. So I would imagine it's, if I had to guess, I'd say this is some variety of a Four Roses product.
And you do have to guess.
Holy crap, I got another one right.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh. Four Roses barrel strength RS23-4G. Oh my gosh. This, Paul, thank you for this.
You're welcome. So because I've watched the show in the past and paid attention, I knew you were a Four Roses fan. So I wanted to send you something that I knew you would enjoy. And also I wanted to give you a chance to get it. So congratulations. That's awesome.
Yes.
Oh man.
Nice.
I appreciate it.
Rolls mad. He's out.
Oh, this Raul really got me with the curveball last week because he gave me a mystery whiskey that he knew I had tried previously and said that I didn't like at all. And then he gave it to me blind and I was like, hey, this is pretty good. And so, yeah, he really got me last week. So I feel at least a little bit of redemption right now. But yeah, Four Roses really does. It just has kind of a vibe to it. It's got similar, like a lot of stuff that they make. It's like this just really tastes and smells like a Four Roses product.
Yeah.
And this one really had those same. I mean, there's such a strong, like, that vanilla component and even like a little bit of citrus, that you taste with it. It pairs so nicely with the cigar too. I mean, it's not so overpowering that you can't taste the cigar. And yeah, really nice.
To be 121.8 proof, it does not drink like it's that.
No. It drinks like a 112, maybe a 113. And it's not too hot at all. So I appreciate that.
I did kindly send you basically the last pour.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you so much.
You're welcome,
really appreciate that, guys. All right, let's get into the lightning round brought to us by our friends at J.C. Newman Cigar Company, America's oldest family-owned premium cigar maker, creators of the popular Brick House, Perla Del Mar, Diamond Crown, and The American. J.C. Newman Cigar Company operates out of their 113-year-old El Reloj Cigar Factory in historic Cigar City, Tampa, Florida. For more information on their cigars or visitor experience, please visit jcnewman.com. All right, let's go ladies first with this first question. All right, Amanda, if you were about to get into a fight, what would your soundtrack music be?
Oh my gosh. Shoot. I don't know. It'd probably be like 90s. It'd be 90s hip hop, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
90s hip hop.
Yeah.
Like Biggie or Tupac or Nas or something like that. I like
What'd
it.
you say?
Salt and pepper.
Oh, no.
Like Backstreet Boys or
No,
I'm joking. I'm messing with you. All right, Paul, same question.
That's easy. Ted Nugent, Stranglehold.
Oh, that's a first time answer, and I like it.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good answer.
He never skips that song. Like, it doesn't matter if it's his like Spotify DJ, something he's listening to. He never skips it ever.
Can't skip that song. You got to turn it up.
Always.
I mean, honestly, there are so many Ted Nugent tracks that would work great as like a fight scene soundtrack.
Yeah,
that would just be perfect. So yeah, that's a great choice. All right, Raul, let's get to this. Which, because it's cool, we may have differing answers here, which is what I'm excited for.
So we're going to start with Amanda first. What do you think? What is your most underrated and overrated fast food joint?
Overrated, underrated? Oh, all right. So I listened to your podcast with John last time. I don't eat a lot of fast food, but I don't. Okay, I'm gonna make a lot of people upset right now, but I don't like Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is not where it's at.
Wow. Okay.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not upset about it. I mean, I like Chick-fil-A, but I've never, honestly, I can't remember anybody I've ever heard from that didn't like Chick-fil-A, and I respect the opinion.
I don't hate
29 years, and you guys have caused us to get a divorce. Thanks, guys.
I don't hate it. It's just I just think it's overrated. I don't know.
Fair enougch.
So
I'm gonna spend that much money. I'm gonna spend on something else. That's all.
All right, Amanda. So what's underrated?
Yeah, what's underrated?
Underrated.
Just like the cigar underrated. What's?
Yeah. Oh, blasphemy. Sorry. Oh gosh. It'd be something local, but doesn't count.
No, that absolutely counts. We love hearing about places we can't get up here.
Okay, so Suplex Taco.
So how many locations do they have, like, in your area?
One.
Just the one.
One in a food truck.
One in a food truck.
Oh, well, see, yeah, that's gotta be like top notch.
It's in a gas. It's like part of a gas station in Kentucky. It's fantastic. It is the best ever. Like, love that place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those well, like Raul introduced me to the tacos at this so like a block next to Smolder Cigar Emporium, which is down in St. Peter, Minnesota. There's this Latin market, and in the back court you can go in there and order tacos. And they're really, really good tacos. And it's just this tiny little hole in the wall Latin market where they make tacos in-house, and they're insanely good. You would never walking by, you'd just think it's a market. You're like, well, I can't actually buy food there and eat it. You can though, and it's awesome. So yeah, those little local places, man, sometimes those can be insane. All right, so Paul,
Same question to you. What's the most underrated and overrated fast food?
Let's see. Underrated. I will go with
please say Chick-fil-A.
Raising Cane's is underrated for a chicken place.
Okay, all right.
So it is. If you haven't had it, it's.
Yep.
I've had it actually, and I respectfully disagree with you, Paul. I don't like Raising Cane's.
I love it. Paul, do you get the butter? I mean, the bread with butter on both sides?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Be open. You got to get it. Now.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan.
Okay.
So,
And the sweet tea.
Overrated. I'm gonna go with like Papa John's.
Okay.
And the only reason I say this because as a kid, that's all my parents ever ordered, and I hate it. I can't.
Yeah. I respect that a lot. I don't care for their product either.
Yeah. So, yeah, Raising Cane's and Papa John's.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Raising Cane's.
I probably just need to try it again. I've had it twice now. One time was delivered, so it was already cold by the time it arrived. The other time, my son and I had it in the store, and it was like super fresh, right out of the fryer. And all the breading fell right off the chicken. Like you picked up the chicken, and the breading just fell off of it.
Oh no!
And I love the sauce. Now I'll say the cane sauce is insanely good.
Yeah.
But if they can figure out a way to keep the breading from falling right off the chicken, I might like a little better. But
Matt, the next time we go to Omar's, we'll stop and eat there first.
All right. Yeah, I'll give it another chance. Third time's a charm, right? All right, Justin.
All right, we'll go with Amanda first, ladies first, right? So, zombie apocalypse is coming. You get 3 people from the cigar industry to pick for your zombie apocalypse survival squad. Who do you pick and why?
Okay, can they be like shop owners, or does it have to be like
whatever you want?
It can absolutely. It can be shop owners, salespeople, brand owners, media people, whatever.
All right, so I am going to choose Dwight Atkins, owner of Fat Eye, because that man can get out of anything. I feel like he can figure it out. He's a thinker. The second person will be the Luciano brand ambassador, Quinn Cole, because Quinn will keep it entertaining. And let's see, my third person.
He's sitting right next to you.
I didn't want to be like that. I was going to say Paul, but then I'm like, you guys will be like, oh, she said Paul. So
I was just trying to give you a hint. I'm trying to keep it friendly.
No, I really was going to. I was going to say Paul. Paul is my third person because, well, he's Paul and he's amazing and all things.
I like it.
All right, Paul. How about you?
Wow. So probably the first, and I'm not picking my wife because I don't want her to be there because I don't want her to get hurt.
Oh my gosh!
I want her to be protected. So I would go with our VP of Sales, Ed Trevino.
Yeah.
That dude is a kind, nice individual, but I just knowing him as well as I do in a short amount of time. I think when shit got real, shit would get real with Ed, and definitely want him on my side.
Mm-hmm.
Next, I would go with let's go with Omar from Fratello. Just
Oh.
because
Oh
Ooh.
yes, yes.
I mean, you got to have a hammer, and
Yeah.
He's
Omar's
he's
gonna be the hammer.
giant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a massive dude.
yeah.
He's gonna throw the zombies off you.
Yeah.
Pretty smart too. It's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he's a little smart. He's got some brains there.
Yeah.
And then the last guy I would go with would be Trey Shipley,
Aw,
Oh,
who is the Aladino rep in our area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one, just because I would want to be there to witness the Trey Shipley stories that I've heard. Like to be a part of one of his stories would be one of the greatest feats that I've ever accomplished in my life. Because he's got the best stories ever. And Trey's entertaining. So
yeah. Trey is an absolute trip. He's so fun to hang out with.
Mhm.
oh yeah.
Yes.
Very nice. Excellent answers. And you get a bonus, Ed. You get a bonus fourth, so you can pick Amanda.
Aw.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I know. I get where you're coming from, though. You know, Paul, where you're like, okay, I want to keep her safe, so I don't want her like. You would want to like find some fortress somewhere and keep her safe in that fortress while you and the other guys go off and fight the zombies. But
Yeah,
I think Amanda could throw down. If push came to shove.
Oh,
Thank you. Absolutely.
I absolutely don't want to mess with her. So
Yeah. Good point. I like it. All right, let's get into this week's notable smokables brought to us by Don Doroteo Cigars, a brand with both purpose and passion, dedicated to creating change from within. By developing their own land, they're able to own the entire process throughout the life cycle of the plant. They methodically carry out each step, ensuring that the final product is of the finest quality. The new Salt of the Earth lines, Piedra Viva and Piedra Angular, are available now at Don Doroteo Retail Partners. Please visit dondoroteo.com to learn more. All right. So, guys, each week we all name a cigar that we smoked recently that was notable to us. Now, this could be a cigar that's been on the market for decades that we tried for the first time in a very long time, or it could be a cigar that's brand new to the market that we tried for the first time ever. Now, obviously, you're smoking a lot of Luciano cigars, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you get a chance to jump outside of the Luciano Cigars portfolio, what's something you smoked recently that stood out to you? Paul, let's start with you.
So I will go with one that definitely stands out. Lure Cigars, Lou Cross. So it's a newer company. His first official event was at Mile Kentucky Herf. I met him, one of his daughters, and his wife. The guy's got an amazing story. The cigar, he started the brand to kind of pay respects to his father that used to fish with him all the time. The story is amazing. The family's amazing, and he's got a really, really good cigar. Just one of those things that the story sticks with you, and you just like that guy, and you want him to be successful. So I would definitely say Lure Cigars. They're very new to the market, but I have no problem saying that I want him to be very successful.
That's awesome. I absolutely love it. Amanda, what about you? What's something you smoked recently that stood out?
Paul's answer is good, but what is I'm sorry, I have to ask him because
No, that's all right.
I don't want to say it wrong. What's the cigar that Laurel just gave you?
Oh,
that Lena just bought me. That Lena got me. The new tobacco.
The Dias de Gloria Brasilia.
Yes.
Mm.
That one. Very good.
Yeah. The AJ Fernandez stuff has been really, really smoking well lately. They've had some hits in the last couple of years, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Raul, what's your notable this week?
I don't know if I use this one, but I just smoked the one on Friday at the station again. Blood Magic.
Oh,
Blood
yeah.
Magic, excuse me.
Yeah.
By ATL?
Yeah, the ATL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think you've used that one before.
Is it the Wise Blood? Is that what you're talking about?
The Wise Blood, right?
Or are you talking about the blood medicine that's the crowned heads?
Yeah.
No, it's the ATL.
The Wise Blood.
Okay, the Wise Blood. Yeah.
Yeah, that cigar is one that like Like I don't get them all that often in my road stock, but when I do and I smoke it, I'm like, why do I not smoke more of this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. That one in that 46 ring gauge,
Mm-hmm.
insane.
That
Yeah.
fire's pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ATL, that fire from ATL is pretty good too.
Yeah. Justin, what's your notable this week?
Believe it or not, I got like an hour to sit down and smoke a cigar
Nice.
and do nothing else this weekend. And I had a Blackworks Studio SNR from, I don't know, 3-4 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Just grabbed that from one of the bottom of the bins, and
Okay.
that thing is hitting nice right now. So,
Yeah, I like that. I like that blend. It's kind of right on that. It's sort of just at least to me, it's like just under medium.
yeah.
You know, so it's not too mild, it's not too strong, but the retrohale
It's
on
got
the cigar.
just these delicious like baking spices at
Yeah.
the end that just I like it when a cigar does that towards the end of the cigar. It gets like those baking, spices and leather and stuff towards the very end of it. It's delicious. You don't want to end it.
Yeah, my notable this week was actually kind of the other end of the spectrum. It was insanely strong cigar. The LFD, the La Flor Dominicana, the Oro Maduro, in that the Toro size in that gold aluminum tube. Oh my God! I mean, I don't really get like overly affected by strong cigars, but even that's one of those cigars that's like, wow, this one's, I'm feeling this a little bit. It's there aren't that many out there on the market that I feel anymore after smoking so many cigars, but that one. You get to that final nub down there at that, that last puff of the cigar, and you go to stand up and you're like, whoa, okay, let's and of course you mix in a glass of bourbon, which I may or may not have when I was smoking that cigar a few days ago. Allegedly. Yeah. But yeah, man, but it's just so flavorful. It's just one of those cigars with tons of that spicy pepper, but it's balanced out with that kind of natural aged tobacco sweetness. Just really, really nice blend. But yeah, have a meal before you smoke that one. Keep yourself safe. All right, let's jump into coming attractions brought to us by Hoagland Insurance. At Hoagland Insurance, they are excited to serve and educate any new customers and give existing customers a refresher. Whether it's a business policy, auto insurance, home policy, or life insurance, if you are currently insured or just looking for a quote, Tony Hoagland and his team would love to create a personal price plan just for you. Mention How About That Cigar when you make your first appointment, and Tony will have a free cigar just for you. For more information, please call 763-421-4900 or visit ChamplinInsurance.com. All right. Next week on the show, we have another first-time guest, June 24th, which is also my brother's birthday, by the way. Oh. June 24th, we have Coleman Fine from Sinistro Cigars, another small brand making their way in the world. And, we've visited with them at trade shows before, but never gotten the big story on the Monday night show. So very excited to talk to him next week. So Paul and Amanda, first off, thank you so much for being on our show this evening. We had an absolute blast talking to you guys.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. We appreciate all you guys do, and thanks for having us. It was a great time for sure.
Absolutely. So if you would please give our viewers and listeners an idea, where is the best place for them to keep up with Luciano Cigars and any other social media accounts you guys want to share?
Yeah, so Instagram at Luciano Cigars. I made it easy for people that wanted to follow me. It's at Luciano Cigars PW. So you can follow me there, find out what I'm doing, follow the Luciano team through the Luciano Cigars on Facebook or Instagram. You'll see all the happenings. We're pretty busy on social media, so you can see all the new stuff and exciting stuff that's going on with us, and find out where our next events and all that stuff are that'll be near you.
Nice. Well, thank you guys so much. And we can't wait to see you again in person at an event one of these days, hopefully soon. And Raul, be well on your travels, brother. You and your wife, I hope you have a fantastic anniversary trip.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Appreciate you guys.
Safe travels, my friend.
cheers to everybody for for a great show this evening.
Salud.
And many thanks to our viewers, guys. As always, our viewers and listeners, we are so grateful for you. The best part of How About That Cigar Live. Thank you so much for being with us on whether it was Facebook, whether it was YouTube, Instagram, X, all of those great platforms. And of course, our audio listeners, thank you so much for making How About That Cigar a part of your regular audio podcast rotation. Be sure to click on the like and subscribe button and the follow buttons to make sure you don't miss anything we have going on. If you have questions for myself or Justin or Raul, please email us on the website, howaboutthatcigar.com. Be sure to follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. You'll find us at HBT Cigar. And of course, until we see you guys next time, burn cigars,
not bridges.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Any comments, opinions, viewpoints, or statements presented or uttered by guests on the HBTC podcast, HBTC live video streams, and all other media from HBT Media LLC are solely those of the individual and do not necessarily represent the opinions or viewpoints of How About That Cigar or its parent company, HBT Media LLC, any of our advertising partners, or the Premium Cigar Industry. The primary purpose of How About That Cigar is to entertain and to encourage activity and growth within the community of people who enjoy or want to learn about the enjoyment of premium cigars.